Buenos dias, buenos dias. We are 148 Bitcoin blocks away from the mainnet launch of Babylon. And Babylon is set to introduce a new era for Bitcoin by introducing Bitcoin staking. That means that you will be able to lock up your BTC in order to secure proof of stake networks, and in return, you'll be able to earn yield. And all of that is going to happen in a trust minimized way, which means you're not giving up custody of your BTC. This is an innovation that's made in Cosmos. Babylon itself is a Cosmos SDK blockchain that is also going to primarily secure Cosmos chains, starting with the Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, Persistence, and a very long list of more chains that are to follow. And the Bitcoin ecosystem is undergoing a true renaissance, which is also why we are going to have a Bitcoin-specific track this year at Cosmoverse late October in Dubai. And this track is led by our headline sponsors, Babylon. Babylon is going to lead this track, and we have some prominent Cosmos projects as part of this track as well, namely Osmosis and Persistence. They're both now pivoted and are focusing a lot on the Bitcoin ecosystem and BTC as the asset. We also have pSTAKE as a liquid staking provider, BitLayer, which is an OG Bitcoin project as well, and then a brand new project called Native, which we're also going to share more information here on the channel in the coming weeks. I already did an intro a couple of weeks ago, but Native is one that's also very interesting. We also have Sandeep, the founder of Polygon, and Sunny, founder of Osmosis, that are also part of this track. In that context, I also briefly want to share and announce our Cosmos India initiative. What we're basically doing is that we are going on a 4-week developer onboarding program in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and New Delhi, starting September 16th, with a goal to onboard developers for our Hackmas Hackathon, which is set to happen right after Cosmoverse, also in late October here in Dubai. Now let's get back to the main topic of today's video, which is going to be the mainnet launch of Babylon. I briefly talked about it on the last video, also in context of their rollout plan. We already talked about that there's going to be a 1,000 BTC cap. So this is going to be a phased rollout, and the first phase is going to bring the Bitcoin lockup to life. The second phase is then going to be Bitcoin staking. And I also think the BBN token is not going to go live in the next couple of weeks. Probably will take a few months until the BBN token, the native token of the Babylon network, is going to go live. Maybe there also will be an airdrop. What we know for sure is that there's going to be a points system already now when the Babylon Phase 1 mainnet is launching. So if you manage to get some BTC locked up in Babylon as one of the first ones, then you'll probably also earn points, which would later translate into BBN tokens. But I also think that's going to be highly competitive, and I think it's going to be a matter of 2 or 3 blocks until this 1,000 BTC cap is reached. What we also see now is the rise of Bitcoin liquid staking providers and this whole creation of BTCFi, right? Bitcoin Finance, Bitcoin DeFi, which means that a lot of these DeFi primitives that were battle tested on the Ethereum world and also on other ecosystems are now coming to Bitcoin as well. And many of these are actually home to the Cosmos ecosystem as well, right? We know pSTAKE, for example. We also see Nomic listed here. Lombard is also here. Also Lorenzo, which is also going to be an Atom secured chain, a Cosmos Hub secured consumer chain. And there's a lot more. And together with our media partners from pSTAKE, we have prepared a couple of slides and also some alpha on how you can boost your potential airdrop allocation. But let's first look into how Babylon actually operates and all these LSTs are plugging in. If you compare the shared security landscape between what EigenLayer introduced with the concept of ETH restaking and Bitcoin staking pioneered by Babylon, you can see that it's actually quite similar. On Ethereum, you basically stake your ETH through something like EtherFi, which is then deposited on EigenLayer to be then restaked for economic security, which you then delegate to an operator, an EigenLayer operator, which would then validate an AVS that is secured by this restaked ETH, and in return, you're receiving a yield from whatever this AVS is generating. Bitcoin staking, pioneered by Babylon, functions in a quite similar way, I would say. in which you would stake your BTC with a liquid staking provider like pSTAKE. Then this would be deposited on Babylon. In Babylon, you have the equivalent of an operator called finality providers. We with Stakecito are actually one of the finality providers at Babylon, and we're actually also one of the operators on EigenLayer. And this would then be validating proof of stake chains, starting with the Cosmos Hub. We also see some other chains here, potentially Say Network, Injective, Akash, Stargaze, Osmosis, Persistence, and some others. And in return, the Bitcoin stakers would receive POS yields, whatever the kind of economic incentive is behind these proof of stake networks. And the innovation that pSTAKE brings to the table here is basically that all of this is getting abstracted away. All you need to do is hold YBTC, which is a yield-bearing auto-compounding token, a representation, a derivative for BTC staking that just accrues value by just holding it, right? That's the whole idea of LSTs, or liquid staked tokens. And pSTAKE is one of the pioneers there. We talked a lot about this over the years. I've been knowing the team for many years. They've been the first ones to also launch liquid staking in Cosmos with over 4 years of experience. And this is how the pSTAKE application looks like, which is already on Mainnet since late July. And they've been one of the first ones to launch this. And they also have this Babylon Rush campaign ongoing, which, as you can see, is still ongoing for a couple of hours. So as you're watching this video, you have to check and see if you can still participate there. We did this coverage also on the video from Sunday, so you already should be aware that this is happening, and you should be aware that there's a decent prize pool to be distributed in addition to the potential points that you're farming in BBN tokens, or that will translate into BBN tokens eventually. But you can come here, you connect your wallet, and yeah, you just stake your BTC, right? You lock up your BTC. Babylon is not live yet, so what you can do now is just lock it up here in pSTAKE, and once Babylon is launching, then these will be staked with Babylon. And as Babylon then progresses with their phased rollout, the caps will be lifted and increased, which means it will be easier for end users to also just liquid stake directly. You can already see that this product has gained substantial traction within just a few days. The TVL is currently 37.5 BTC, which is well over $2 million, and already accounts for a third of the TVL of pSTAKE. At the peak, they achieved around $60 million in TVL in the 2022 kind of bull run. And yeah, currently they're at 6.27, out of which, yeah, almost 2.5 is in BTC already, right? And this is pre-launch, like this is not even fully live yet. Anyways, if you have BTC and you want to stake, I recommend checking out pSTAKE and also participating in their Babylon Rush program. You can see those are exclusive rewards for early adopters that will share a pool of around 100,000 pSTAKE tokens. Some of the testnets that pSTAKE has achieved also are very impressive. Over 46,000 participants with 55 Signet BTC, that's kind of testnet BTC, that were deposited here. And now that it's on Mainnet, we can see that there's strong demand, strong product market fit. It's also a question I get a lot, like, what would be kind of the bear case, the bear scenario for Babylon? It obviously would be no demand, right? It would be that the caps doesn't get filled and it's just no one is doing it. But I think the opposite is actually going to happen, right? These caps are going to get filled in no time. There's going to be a literal rush and a race to stake BTC through Babylon. And then we'll obviously have to see over time how that evolves and if that sustains this momentum. But pSTAKE is on the forefront here. They've just been around for a very long time. And they've also been one of the first ones to participate there, right? And to go all in on the Bitcoin liquid staking category. This was announced in mid-May of 2024. And yeah, we talked about this also a lot here on the channel around Persistence and pSTAKE. Both are now fully Bitcoin aligned. Persistence also just announced this brand refresh, which is also now in Bitcoin colors and also truly Bitcoin aligned. We also did some content here months ago about pSTAKE getting into BTC fight. This one is here from over a month ago, and also an in-person interview with the founder of Babylon, David, and Mikhail, the co-founder of pSTAKE, which you should also watch. This is on Twitter and was posted on February 5, 2024. So 5-6 months ago, and is, in my opinion, very, very educational and valuable content if you truly want to understand what this actually all means, how this actually works, what are the synergies between those projects, right? And how does Babylon also position themselves in this Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem and what value they add. So it's a very, very great interview. I learned a lot also from both of them, and it's always great to, just to learn. Anyways, this is all about BTCFi, Bitcoin staking, Babylon, persistence, pSTAKE, and I strongly recommend you to check that out. Another flagship Cosmos chain that is making more and more waves and is growing and growing is Akash Network. Now, we talked a lot about Bitcoin and how some of the top contenders in the Bitcoin ecosystem are Cosmos chains. If you look into the AI field, it's no different, right? We have Fetch AI, which now rebranded to the Superintelligence Alliance. We have projects like EOS, Chain, Humans AI, a lot of different kind of agents that are building Cosmos, a lot of infrastructure providers. When it comes to storage, we have Jackal, right? We have a lot of projects in different kind of sub-fields of AI. And Akash is one of the flagship compute projects in the AI field, right? Which is critical infrastructure for AI to succeed in a decentralized way, at least. And Akash Network is the super cloud, which is now growing and growing. And we just did an event with them in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So they're going heavy on entering the Latin American market, which I'm very bullish on, you know that. They just introduced now a new community-led LATAM provider initiative in Brazil. And they have more coming up also in Indonesia and Japan that are now on the network as well. And a lot more. I think Argentina might be added here, hopefully Colombia as well. And Mexico is also here. So this is good to see more decentralized distribution geographically and more communities being built on Akash. Also, Akash has reached a new all-time high in daily USD spent with over $5,000. So they just keep pushing. They just keep demonstrating product market fit day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. They are one of the strongest projects to come out of this bear market, and Akash is also rightfully one of the top AI crypto projects and plays there is. Then we have a new integration. Mars V2 has now landed on Neutron. Mars protocol is actually a lending and borrowing platform that originally launched on top of Terra and reached hundreds of millions in TVL. And after Terra collapsed, they announced the launch of their standalone Mars Hub, a Mars Layer 1 blockchain, which then went live sometime, I think, in late 2022. And now they're going to depreciate that chain. So that means if you hold Mars tokens natively on the Mars L1, then you should migrate them over onto Neutron. They made a full-on post here about credit accounts, spot and margin trading, lending and borrowing, more features now that V2 is offering. So I strongly recommend you to check that out and read this thread here. Then we also have the new contender, the new star on the horizon, Drop.money, a new liquid staking provider that just launched like a week ago on the Cosmos Hub and already has over 4,000 stakers, over 1.1 million Atom or D-Atom that were liquid staked with Drop, and 1,000 were, well, it says burned, but actually that means redeemed back into Atom. But yeah, this is over 4 million in TVL for Drop in no time. And that's very, very impressive, to be honest, and shows real strength for their protocol, their kind of game theory, their economic incentive models. Obviously, they have this ongoing droplet campaign. So if you go and you want to liquid stake now on Drop.money, which I strongly recommend you to just try out, get a feeling for it, you go here on Drop.money, then you click on Launch App, and you'll have the option to enter a referral link or code. You can use code Dropcito, and you'll get access here to liquid stake your atoms, and then you'll also earn points. And if you then deposit your D-Atom on Levana or Astroport, you'll get a 50x bonus on those droplet points, right? Which later will translate into drop tokens. Sticking around the airdrop meta, you have a few hours left to claim your Saga airdrop. So very, very, very time sensitive. Make sure you do that. And bookmark this site, always watch out for more airdrops. Saga has already done 5 airdrops, and there's going to be the next one around the corner, I guess. Why is that? Well, because they have their major conference coming up now in a few days in Cologne, Germany, in my country. The Multiverse Summit, already the second time they're doing this. Gamescom is the largest gaming conference in the world. I think 20, 30, 50,000 people. I don't even know, but it's a huge conference. And yeah, the Saga team is going to be there, which I think makes a lot of sense. I still hope they will come to customers and participate in the gaming track. But yeah, I understand also the kind of focus on the traditional gaming space, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest, to onboard gaming developers, gaming projects, gamers, gaming KOLs in that niche, right? We have more airdrops. Crypto Dungeon, great guy. I had a call with them. Super nice people, very, very positive people, focused on their niche, which is also building a game in Cosmos. And they're now pushing hard to become the first permissionless ICS chain that is using the Cosmos Hub validator set. So that's really cool to see. And with that, they're also going to do an airdrop. And you can now already check your airdrop allocation. If you come here on dungeon -airdrop -check.reese.sh, I'm going to leave a link below this video so you can check your dungeon airdrop allocation. They also just did a stream swap event for their token launch and initial price finding that ended a couple of days ago, and they raised around 12,000 atoms. So congrats on that. Really cool to see. And yeah, looking forward now to the airdrop and the full launch of Dungeon. Then we have an airdrop teaser from Deploydon, which is teasing here an airdrop for potentially star stakers and NFT holders. So put that on your watch list as well. And Stargaze V2 that is going to launch very, very soon. And that means now you can denominate also NFT collections in different tokens. And Atom and USDC are the winners here. USDC has won this poll where I voted for Atom. Atom came second though, so that's not bad. But considering that Atom is kind of on track to become interchain capital or interchain collateral, I think denominating NFTs in Atom would be a cool move to see. Lastly, we also have the Atom August now in full swing. And we have a new collection on horizon that is going to be minted in Atom. I think this is the first one that's going to be minted in Atom. Woman of Fada, that is set to invade Cosmos on August 29th. So you have a week left to get prepared and get yourself up to speed about this project and NFT collection. And yeah, happy minting if you want to participate there. Anyways, that's all for today. Get ready for the Babylon mainnet launch phase 1. Check out pSTAKE, liquid staking, the Babylon Rush program, super time sensitive. And yeah, happy Bitcoin staking. This is going to be having a big, big impact in my opinion. And could also, to be honest, could also be as big, if not bigger, than when Celestia mainnet launched. And remember, that had a huge impact and also launched and inaugurated this Cosmos season that we had. And I think, to be honest, Babylon can do the same. Like, Babylon is going to bring so much more spotlight on Cosmos, and yet another major, major innovation that is going to revive the kind of hype around Cosmos, in my view, right? Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, you learned something, and yeah, go watch my other videos that I did about Bitcoin staking, in-person interview also with Mikkel and David. This is super educational. I learned a lot in that interview, and it's only 27 minutes, so you'll learn a lot there as well. I'll see you guys very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.